If you talk about bad games for a long enough time, eventually someone is going to bring up E.T. for the Atari, a rushed, poorly produced movie tie-in that became a poster child for the video game crash of 1983. But however bad and pointless a game E.T. was, it doesn't hold a candle to the 1984 game adaptation of Give My Regards to Broad Street, a movie written by and starring Paul McCartney as himself. You can be forgiven if you've never heard of the movie. Though the album of the same name is considered very good, the film is an almost existentially pointless piece of cinema. It follows a day in the life of Paul McCartney as he's driven around overcast England trying to rescue a bunch of session tapes he entrusted to a recently released ex-con for no readily explicable reason.
And yet it would appear you were quite happy to place such a valuable asset in the hands of this man.
Yeah, we knew about him when he joined, but he swore he'd been straight for a couple of years.
Critics tore it apart, with Ebert giving it 1 star and very astutely observing that it was, quote, about as close as you can get to a non-movie. And for some reason, someone decided it was a good idea to turn this plodding, pointless movie into an even more plodding, pointless video game for the Commodore 64. The game, much like the movie, is a non-game. You drive Paul McCartney around England, picking up his bandmates in an attempt to reconstruct the song No More Lonely Nights. While you do this, crashing your car into walls, a painfully tinny version of Band on the Run plays on a constant loop. It's an incredibly sad game to play. The game never tells you what you're supposed to do, so if you've never seen the movie or read the manual, you'd have no idea what the hell it was you're supposed to be doing. And after a while, you just end up driving into walls out of boredom and sadness as the music slowly drives you insane. By movie tie-in standards, Give My Regards to Broad Street is not the best or worst game you'll ever find, but its existence does underscore one thing we often forget. For better or for worse, you can literally make a game out of any subject material. And while sometimes the end result is awful, occasionally we get things that are gorgeous, brilliant, and inspiring. Games like Barclay's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Elite Beat Agents, Phoenix Wright, and Bad Mojo. Broad Street was made in a time when our preconceptions of what a game could and couldn't be were not as fully formed. And while it doesn't merit a replay, that freedom to play and make whatever we want, no matter the subject material, is something we should always be aware of.